think that if we get the best brains of the UK, of France, and of Spain, surely there is something we can do to defeat cancer.
You don't know who's going to make the next breakthrough, so it is essential for everybody to talk and communicate. This really speeds up the process.
2 years ago it was me. Could be my future children, could be my husband, could be my sister.
What do you think about investing in cancer research?
We need to. There's nobody I know who's not impacted, myself included.
Unfortunately, I did lose my dad like 10 years ago to cancer, so it's something that the family have been through.
I think the more you can invest, then it's money well spent, because more research, we're going to beat this one day.
We can do things in the lab now we couldn't dream of 10 years ago. I think at some point over the summer...
Dr. Cris Jones, here at the Institute of Cancer Research in London for 13 years, says he's been laser focused on fighting a deadly brain tumor in kids. It's what motivates him every morning.
I truly believe I get up every day because I believe that we will make a difference, that we will definitely improve survival for kids who have these tumours.
This super determined doctor works very closely with the Cris Cancer Foundation.
And Cris Cancer Foundation is really at the forefront of that in terms of catalysing studies by different researchers in different countries and bringing them together to collaborate, to share data, to share resources, and to drive the pace of research much quicker.
In Spain, Cris Cancer fully supports Dr. Antonio Perez at Madrid's La Paz Hospital.
I think we can collaborate with other labs in order to identify new targets.
And in Paris, Cris Cancer teams up with this well-known cancer center with Dr. Jacques Grill at the helm.
In the last year, we've been able to build up a large network, rapidly expanding to other European countries.
So how does it feel to have all this collaboration across countries happening? All this uniting going on?
Feels incredible. So we've always worked very closely with Jacques in particular, and so we're exchanging information, on a daily and weekly basis.
These research scientists say it's the only way we will translate cancer research fast from the labs into actual treatments for patients in hospitals, especially kids with deadly brain tumors.
We want to be a part of this fight and to save them.
These kids we're talking about, out of nowhere, with no family history, they're diagnosed with this killer brain tumor, malignant glioma, or DIPG. You're looking now at one of the tumors close up being studied in the ICR lab. These tumors are lodged in the base of the brain.
This is a medulloblastoma.
Too hard to surgically remove or treat with chemo. Once discovered, they're a death sentence within 1 year. How many are dying? About 300 kids across Europe. Around 60 right here in the UK every year.
These children, the survival rate is 0%.
At 30, Leah Urian, a former cancer patient, says just thinking about the doctors telling parents their little kids have this brain tumor, it's too much.
But when you are just a little kid, you are 5 or 6 years old, how do you do that? How do you do that? Because you're just so fragile. When you are diagnosed with cancer, first it's unreal. I think it's like a car accident.
For Leah, it was 2 years ago. It was the blood cancer lymphoma. Cris Cancer also funds work to eliminate this type, too.
How is it possible? I'm 28. I was on holidays just 1 week ago, and you're telling me right now that I have to stop working and to start a chemotherapy, and it just happens like that.
The insane part, Leah was feeling great.
When I started to have the symptoms, I was still doing my gym, going to work, traveling. I was living very normally. I have always thought that people with cancer, they felt very awful, very bad. But no, cancer is a very naughty thing. One morning I just woke up and I had some pain on both of my arms, so I started touching. And I felt like a bag of almonds under both of my arms. It was the lymph nodes. 2 weeks after, they told me, but you have a lymphoma in a stage 2. I was like, why? How is it possible?
Leah shows us the scars from where the chemo entered her body.
It's like a big bubble that they put under your skin. And the portacat here, I don't know if you see, I have a wire. No cancer in my family.
Never thought it could happen to you?
No,
Never looked at a hospital twice?
No, and I think the hardest part of cancer was not to be told I had cancer. It was not the chemotherapy in itself. It was to call my parents to say that I was sick. And when we called the family, and Xavier, sorry, my husband, he called his aunt to say, I have something to tell you about Leah. Oh, she's pregnant. This was the first reaction.
So she was crying, and I remember I took the phone. Straight away, get in the mood of a fighter, and you have to be the rock, yeah? And that's how I took it, because you have a fantastic life, and suddenly from one day to another, your wife, who feels perfectly fine, is diagnosed with something that you think happens to others, whilst showing zero symptom at all.
The NHS recently said that 1 of 2 people who were born after 1960, they will have cancer in their life. So we will all have to face it.
So collaboration among these top researchers is key in London, Paris, and Madrid. But it's also important for these charities and these donors to get together so we get a cure even faster now.
And I can't think of a better investment than in cancer research. And more specifically, if I wanted to invest, I want to make sure that the money that I give actually goes to research itself. For Cris, 95% of the money is directly donated to fund research projects. There is no admin, there is no lost money anywhere.
So as a donor, you feel very reassured that your money, your time, anything that you are giving for the foundation is going to the right place.
Okay, so now you give it to me.
Leah says she's living proof we're getting closer to life after cancer, and she wants exactly that for the kids suddenly diagnosed with these devastating tumors.
You fight against death. So I had to do it at 28 years old. I just cannot imagine what it's like to have to fight for your life when you're 5 or 6 or 7 years old. And it's all thanks to research. It's all thanks to research.